Okay.
We'll do it live.
Okay. No.
We'll do it live. Fuck it. Do it live. I'll write it and we'll do it live. Fucking thing sucks.
Too fast. No, you're good. Just go ahead. Just go ahead. Welcome to the Dill Podcast. Do it live.
We're doing it live.
I'm Mike. This is Dan. And this is Justin.
Mike?
I use that term loosely.
Very loosely.
Very, very loosely. Very loosely. What are we talking about today?
You know, today we're actually done to talk about procrastination because I think this kind of applies a little bit in our lives right now.
Can we do that later? Please.
You know, I would, but
I'm so nervous about this one. Let's do this one later.
let's just do this live.
We'll do it live. Welcome to the podcast. Jesus. It's unbelievable that we do that. Anyway.
It's great to be here, Mike.
Dan, thank you for joining us. Dan's a friend of ours. He's a good guy.
Very good guy.
Hi, everyone.
So, we're going to talk about procrastination. We had to make Dan procrastinate. Maybe we need to do one later on about like peer pressure.
Oh, absolutely. And how we totally pressured someone into being in this.
Invite me back for that one.
Don't worry.
We will.
We will
or
definitely
we won't,
not
but
pressure
we will.
you into it.
And you're going to do it.
All right.
But you will.
But you will. Oh, yeah. So, anyway, we should really be studying right now. We have, I know that we're full-grown ass men, and we're studying, and that seems funny, but we have examinations coming up.
Definitely have a couple of those.
Just a few tests coming up.
Just a couple.
A few tests
And
coming up.
they're all on the same week, so
Yeah,
this should
it's
be an
kind of
interesting week
one of
for
those
us.
funny things. But my theory is, so we're taking our Fire 1 and 2 and Hazmat exam, and my theory is that as long as we don't touch anything wet and sticky that isn't ours, and if we put wet stuff on red stuff, I think we're fine, right?
You know, as the theory goes, I'm going to just say yes.
As long as it's not red phosphorus.
All right.
Oh,
Dan
come on,
has
Dan.
actually been studying. Dan has
And,
actually been
he's
studying.
actually reading the book, so thanks.
No,
That's a good
That's
thing.
terrible.
That's
That's absolutely
a little
terrible.
nugget from high school. I'm screwed.
He's not screwed. Nobody's screwed. That's why we're doing this right now, because
Yeah.
we're not terribly worried about it, and we say that, and then I'm going to fail.
Yeah.
We're not screwed. I'm just nervous. I just get worked up.
The way I look at it is if you do not know it by this point, a couple of days of studying 9 months to a year of material is not going to do anything for you.
See, that's what makes me nervous, man.
No, absolutely. I mean, that's kind of the scary thing is, I mean, you know, what are you going to do?
Yeah, it's somewhere in there.
Yeah.
And I guess that's the whole point of this topic right now is procrastination and how it's helped, hindered, and stopped us from doing things that we probably should be doing the whole time.
And to be fair, we procrastinated doing this podcast.
That
We
is absolutely
procrastinated adding video. Hello there. New video feature. We procrastinated doing that. We procrastinated a whole bunch of other things. So we're like kind of picking and choosing on our procrastination.
You wanted
right
to
now.
procrastinate studying more than you wanted to procrastinate doing the
Yeah.
podcast at this point.
You know, you can actually use that. Like, that's one of those things where, like, sometimes if you know that you really, really, really don't want to do something, and you have to do something else, and like he comes down to the wire, and you're
Yeah.
like, screw
Let's
it.
choose the other one.
Screw it.
That we
Lesser
both
of two
agree on.
evils.
Yeah, absolutely.
And
Ugh.
I mean, I definitely think that's a big topic with it because if you just keep putting something off until finally it just bursts, and you're just like, where did my time go? And this test is definitely not an exception to it. We've known about it. It's not like it's anything that snuck up on you.
It's literally been on a calendar for a year and a half.
It's
Yeah.
definitely been on a calendar for that long. And then we're just scrambling to try and get it done. But
And by scrambling to try and get it done, he means barbecuing. We are out on my deck barbecuing right now. We got together to study. Yes, that was a beer. Please, we're not going to put this out until after the test so nobody can get mad at me. But that's a lie. It'll probably go out tomorrow. But yeah, I mean, you know what I'm saying.
I would, but I'm going to put it off until tomorrow.
Yeah, I know, right? Okay, that joke is such a dead horse at this point. Let's beat it some
I
more.
like to
Why
kick
not?
it while it's down.
Why not? That's a
I hear
good
there's
idea.
a glue factory close by.
Right? I mean, jeez. That's the other thing, man. Think about horses. Like, animals, like, every once in a while you run across somebody and they're like, oh, man, animals got so easy. Like, they don't have to think about anything. You know, it's so easy. Well, but, like, think about horses, man. If that horse knew at the starting line of a race that if he, like, broke his ankle, he was going to the glue factory, you'd be seeing some, like, easy stepping horses over there. You know,
Right.
like, let's all just get along. You win, I win, who gives a shit? Same oat bag at the end of the day. Same oat bag at the end of the day. Why not? Screw it. Let's all just eat, live. I'm going to get put off the stud in like 6 months if I don't break my leg.
I mean, I think that's all we could really hope for in life.
Well, it kind of to me sounds
Right?
like retirement. Like
Retirement.
you know, where you're like,
Something
I just got to keep this job for like 2 more years.
Something that we put off, too. I guess that could come down to what we aspire to do. I think a lot of times that we
As far as
procrastinate.
retirement,
Oh, no, just as far as like procrastination goes in general. Like, we hold on to this job saying, oh, just 5 more days and maybe I'll make a lifetime change. And then you're there for 6 years and you haven't progressed.
or you never even consider the whole 5 more. You never even get to 5 more days. You never even there. I feel like are a lot of people that never even consider the option that they can drop everything and kind of go somewhere else because maybe they think they can't, and sometimes they think they can't for kind of
Like all major life decisions happen that way.
yeah.
Like like when people move, like you get into a shitty situation or whatever where like, oh man, you know, I don't really like how the town around me is going. I don't like the changes. Say taxes are going up, whatever it is, doesn't matter. And you're like, I gotta get out of here. How long do people spend just talking about getting out of here and like just vacillating on that stuff?
Not to mention energy.
Yeah, it's a ton of energy. Arguments.
Oh, yeah.
You know, you get in an argument with your wife, your husband, whatever you want.
And it's about the same stuff.
Get in an argument with yourself
Same thing.
too.
Same thing. Yeah. Well, Dan, if you're hearing an argument, like you let me know. Like, let's just make sure that that's
I'm a
not.
pinata. I'm not a pinata. Man, why are you obsessed with pinatas? Because that's life, Mike.
You
Yeah.
never know what you're going to find in there.
Yeah. You just.
You just got to bust it open sometimes and really get in there.
I busted a lot of pinatas today. What, Dan? I don't even know what we're talking about anymore. Oh, that was disturbing.
You don't
I
know
liked
what
it.
my life is like.
Ole.
I'm going to go run with the bulls.
Oh, seriously, but yeah, man, that's the thing. People just get all crippled with procrastination, and I do it. We all do it. I'm very cognizant of trying to not do it, but that doesn't mean that always works.
You know, I'm typically pretty good about starting things early and then leaving 10% until the very last second.
Oh yeah.
I'll get
Oh, man.
something ahead. I'll be so far ahead of something. And then I'm like, oh, you know, I got plenty of time to get this 5 to 10%.
I did that with IFSTA. I
Yeah.
did that with IFSTA. I did
Yeah.
like everything except for
too.
chapter 23 and 24. All of it. Did all of it. Like 3-4 months ago.
And why do we keep doing this to ourselves?
Because
And
it's fun.
I think that kind of blends into another topic as that I'm really well versed in, and that's finishing things.
Finishing things. Okay.
Finishing things. I think if I could take a guess, people who are inclined to procrastinate also have a ton of projects going and don't necessarily finish them all. At least
Okay.
I speak for myself.
Speaking of that, I'm trying currently to barbecue and do this podcast, so I'm going to go do that.
I mean,
No.
at work, there are like 10 things that I've started that it's like you said, it's like 90% of it done, but then something
Yeah.
else comes up, I get distracted, and I don't finish it.
The sad part is a lot of those projects will take us like 5 minutes to get done.
Yeah.
And it's just a matter of getting yourself past that point and actually progressing and making those changes.
Absolutely.
So I think today, like, the big realization for me is just get it done. Like, you don't have to wait until the very last second. But at the same time, I do think that sometimes procrastinating gets better results.
For certain people.
In
that
certain
is
situations.
that is really contentious. You know what? Let's take a
It's-
break right there. Come back and pick it up on the positives of procrastination.
Positives.
Okay.
I'm telling you,
All
there's
right.
a few.
I don't believe
Not
you.
many.
Let's try it.
Let's
Hold
think
on.
about it later.
Let's take a break. We'll be right back. Thank you.
Hey, our floor is at Home Depot.
Yeah, let's pick it up tomorrow.
Okay. We could. I don't give a shit. We ain't gonna.
I'm just kidding.
I ain't gonna touching that shit, man. I got more important things to do.
I like it. Turn up a little. Nice. And with that, we're back. Yeah. See, you guys gotta get headsets. You can't hear this. I'm telling you, this is so much better than when I used to do radio. Sorry about that. But it is. It is. This is like we're on my porch. I'm drinking a beer. I can say whatever I want.
It's true.
It's phenomenal. This is like so American. This is just as American as apple pie
Hey,
and
we're living the
George
dream.
Carlin.
Definitely living the dream.
Oh, anyway, yeah, man, procrastination. I fail to see how procrastination is better. Enlighten me.
All right. So when I said that earlier, I probably should not have said that procrastination is better.
Are you kidding
However-
me? We are totally using that for a clickbait title for this.
However, I will say
Oh, yeah.
there are times that it can be useful. And when I say that, it a lot of times falls into dumb luck. I will throw that out there. It's not something that you could always stage or make happen. But there has been times that because I put something off, it worked out better. And those situations do have to do with like buying things, for example. There's been times where, like,
okay,
let's
yeah,
say
yeah.
I've put something off
All right,
and
I'll
like,
give
I
you
end up
that.
buying it. And like I know that's how I end up.
Because you bite. You see that great sale, and you're like, oh, damn.
Yep.
Yes.
Yes.
That is mine.
I needed this like 6 months ago, but I'm getting it
But
today.
I'm doing it now.
I'm doing it now.
We'll do it live.
I'm doing it live. But there are also other times too where when you're procrastinating, it kind of gives you that extra incentive to get it done, obviously, because you're rushing towards it. But it also sticks in your head a little bit fresher. Because there are times where I've finished a project way ahead of time, and then someone will ask me about it, and I'm like, oh man, I don't remember anything about it.
This happened to me earlier.
But like projects that end up being due that day, you better
You
believe
better know
I know
it.
everything
Yeah.
that day. So
that's the
it
truth.
just depends on the situation. Like I think having everything mostly done definitely will help you, but sometimes leaving that 5% isn't always a bad thing.
You've converted me.
Sometimes.
Honestly, I didn't think of that. I didn't know
Sometimes.
how on earth this was going to come out the right way.
But that being said, you could just take that spare time and just go over what you already did. So, I mean, it just depends on how you look at it.
That's true. It's absolutely true.
And then there's the risk of miscalculating the amount of time or energy it will take to complete that last 5 or 10%.
Oh, man.
So then you run into one of those situations where
You're in the hallway.
How
It's
many
not done,
projects
yeah.
have we had like that?
Oh, all of them?
it's happened to me. It's happened to
Only
me in the
all of
last
them.
8 months. But also, kind of to your point, I think that it's not necessarily, in my opinion, the procrastination that is the benefit for some people, but the pressure that is caused by the procrastination. Some people need pressure, just like kind of some people are kind of like adrenaline junkies. Some
Yeah,
people
they
need-
rise to the occasion.
Yeah,
That's
they
what
rise
it
to the
is.
occasion, exactly. And I think that's a personality thing. Or not, excuse me, not a personality. I think it's just the way some people's brains work.
No, I think personality, that's fair. That's fair.
It could be personality, anything, you know.
I'm going to actually go with that. I think that's a big thing. I know for a fact that there's, if I'm not passionate about something, that's typically when I put it off.
Oh, yeah. Dude, look at the way people eat, man. We're going to have steak tonight. You know what I'm going to do? I'm going to save the best, like, little piece of steak for the very end. Like, that will be the last thing on the plate. I 100% guarantee you it'll be a piece of steak. I'll be like, I'm saving that. Saving that one right there.
You know, that might be something I won't procrastinate on. I'm going to just get it out of the way. I deserve this.
I'm hungry. Lay off me. I'm starving.
You've seen me eat. It's something.
But if it was a little piece of something that I wasn't as passionate about, then I wouldn't give it a thought at all. And that's kind of I'm the same way as you in that regard. That's the only thing that's kept me afloat, I think, in maybe the last endeavor that we've been doing in the academy. It's hard for me to maintain a long-term attention span on something sometimes, and my drive to want to do this has been the only thing that's kept me afloat. If it was just something that I wasn't as interested in, I don't know if it would have been possible, at least with my study habits today and just kind of how I am right now.
Debauchery and talk of the apocalypse is taken out of court.
As I was saying, procrastination was a pretty common reoccurrence throughout my childhood and high school, going to school.
I mean, I absolutely did that too. That was the biggest thing because I wasn't very good at procrastinating yet.
No, I sucked at it.
I was bad at it. Things would just get out of hand.
You know,
I had an anxiety thing over it. I'd procrastinate too much, and then I'd just be I'm just going to pretend that doesn't exist anymore.
I think
'cause I was a child.
I got better at procrastinating as I got older.
Oh yeah.
So when I was younger, my anxiety. We're talking about anxiety here. Mm-hmm. My anxiety was so high that I wouldn't be able to get something done. That I would get it done way ahead of time. So it actually, I think, as I've got more relaxed and more comfortable in understanding time a little bit better.
Sure.
Unfortunately, it made me a little better at procrastinating.
Time management.
Well, your abilities as a procrastinator have increased.
They have.
Dramatically.
They have. And, it's kind of like that whole Boy Scout thing. You should really be prepared for anything to happen. Because there's definitely scenarios where that procrastination, it definitely made you late to things, made you miss opportunities, and it sucks.
Opportunity cost is that's such a real thing. It's so high. I've been trying to communicate that to younger people that I know.
Well, time and money.
Yeah,
it's
but time above money. Because
above money.
You can't convert money into time.
You can't.
It's the only thing you can't buy.
And there's a lot of times that we have the opportunity where we have a lot of downtime. Everyone does. Even having 3 jobs and academy and all that, I know I have time. There's plenty of chances where I could have been doing assignments or studying and getting stuff done. Shoot, even listening to something in your car, on a drive, that's time that you are not going to get back.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
And I think that's part of the issue is we don't utilize chances like that.
Yeah, it's all up for grabs. Like you said, the driving was a perfect example. You could turn drive time into study time if you want to.
Yeah, no problem. But here's the thing. I think that people, and especially younger people, now I'm not talking specifically millennials, the generation under millennials.
Mm-hmm.
I think they're kind of converting a lot of that time into useful time because they're doing things similar to what their grandparents did, except they're not doing it the way their grandparents did it. So it used to be that a lot of people, and I'm not going to say all highly effective people, but a lot of highly effective people, let's say you watch the show Mad Men, right? You ever seen that? Dan, you've never seen anything, so I don't even want to talk to you about this.
I've seen a couple.
Other thing.
Yeah. I've seen a few.
So you watch that, every train ride into the city in the morning, they're reading the newspaper.
Absolutely.
Then, once automotive commuting became the huge, huge thing that it is in the United States, everybody was listening to radio, back before FM radio, but even after FM radio, you're still listening to talk shows on AM. Now it's podcasts. Think about Joe Rogan. That guy has more reach than anybody.
Yeah,
anybody
absolutely.
At this point.
The thing that's crazy about it too is just we have so many resources.
Yeah.
If you want to, there's no arguing now because you can't just There's not. Like it's like you are right or you're wrong. I'm gonna pull it up on my little computer that's in my pocket.
Yeah, my freaking
and I'm gonna prove to you
tricorder.
how stupid you are.
Yeah, exactly. You're right. There is no arguing anymore. We used to like have an impassioned argument about that. I remember, this is so stupid. But in middle school, I had this group of friends, and like for whatever reason, one day everybody started arguing about like a .22 caliber bullet that could like go into your arm and like come out your face or your neck, because we were all dumb middle school boys.
Oh yeah.
But that argument persisted forever. I mean,
Became
it
a
was
feud at that point.
well, but it also became the most well-researched topic ever.
Oh, man.
Like this was like, like we're going to like Zapruder film on this. Like,
Okay.
I mean, we were like, this was like the Kennedy investigation
That's really
in our middle school.
which is actually kind of what didn't something like that.
Yeah,
happen?
yeah.
It's like,
it's kind
went through
of
somewhere,
And
came
that's
out
why-
his face.
there you
yeah,
go.
yeah, kind of oddball
kinda
thing.
weird.
But,
And then MythBusters came along, and
yeah, yeah. But
Shot
like,
a ballistics dummy in the chest.
well, but like, think about it. Like, you don't watch
Bad joke.
MythBusters anymore. Like,
No.
you're not going back and watching it. Like, Adam
No,
Savage
no.
just got his little YouTube thing, and like, but it's just him. Like, he does like Nerf builds, like where he takes one day and he makes an awesome Nerf gun
I
that
could see
looks
that.
just like the gun from Blade Runner
Sounds
or
like
something
he's
like
doing
like,
okay for
like-
himself.
like,
That's
yeah,
good.
yeah. I hope he's doing well. But like that thing's kind of cool. But he's not doing MythBusters stuff
No.
anymore, because why would you watch? You remember how long those shows took? They were half an hour, and you'd sit there and you'd be like, "Come on, just show me the last 5 minutes. Just show it to me. Show it to me."
think about how
And-
much time went into that
Yeah.
too.
And now you can go on YouTube, and there's some guy who's like, "Oh, well, I got a big old block of FBI calibrated ballistics gel, and I put a pig bone in it, and I got my
Let's-
22 right here,
Let's see what happens.
and I put a pig face in it, and we're gonna shoot this thing." And like 2 minutes later, you're like, "Whoa, damn it! All right, so that's
All
what
right,
happens."
That's what
And
it
the, and,
is.
the, and the guy's like, "Well, and I did this 30 more times, and so here's my results."
There you go.
And you start realizing you're like, "Man, this is like the most amazing hillbilly science that ever was."
Oh, absolutely.
But like you find that for anything on YouTube. Like, why would you ever watch a television show anymore? And like put up with commercials.
Because cable costs too much money
Oh, yeah.
anyway.
Yeah.
And
oh man,
that's-
cord
There's a
cutting.
lot of
don't even
reasons there.
don't even get me
Netflix.
started on cord cutting, because we're done. We're down to $20
I'm a
a month.
Netflix type
Yep.
of person.
Yeah.
I don't like commercials. It comes down to that time thing. Like I don't have time for that.
Ain't nobody got
I
time for
don't
that.
have time for that.
No, I don't even want. I don't want to watch the commercials, and I don't want the fluff. Let's see it.
Let's speed it
Show
up.
me.
Let's see what's
Yep.
going on.
Show me. Do it
Yeah.
live.
Let's do it live.
But seriously, like that's a thing, and
Do you think the
It's-
social media has kind of killed a lot of that too because of that?
yeah, kind of. Social media is like it's
It's
a weird
changed.
thing. It has a lot. So
Like
I don't
Snapchat.
engage.
Snapchat
I don't engage.
has channels now.
I don't even know what that is. I still.
How do you mean?
You guys had me sign into Snapchat, and you were like, "This is Snapchat."
Not this guy.
And yeah, no, I know. Yeah, Dan,
I've used
you're
it
a Luddite
in the
just
last
like
5
me.
years.
That was my fault.
Yeah.
I kept sending him
Justin
the
sent me a
dog
snap. It was
filters,
nice.
and he wasn't responding.
Well, and I never even saw him. I still haven't responded. I don't know what's going on. But like, man, like when I first got Facebook, my my college roommate, his girlfriend's roommate, set up my Facebook account. Like that's how removed it was. Like I didn't even want to do it then.
Okay.
And Eastern Michigan was like one of the first like 50 schools, because you used to have the college email. Like you had to validate your thing on a college email.
Yeah.
And then Zuckerberg was like, "Screw that, let's get money," and let everybody join. But back then, like that was it. Like you had Facebook, and it was very rudimentary. And so like, I mean, nobody had smartphones. Everybody had a
No,
flip phone, if you had a phone.
You check it at home.
Yeah,
You're
yeah,
not
yeah.
on it every 2 minutes posting things. You got
You
mail.
got mail. Yeah, thank you. So you go on there, and we had like AIM Instant Messenger. So you
Oh
go
man,
home.
that was the best.
dude. They shut that down like
That used to
6
be the
months
best.
ago.
That's still my main email. It's the one that's hooked
Is
up to my
AOL?
phone. Yeah.
Oh, that's crazy.
That's
I didn't know
impressive.
that was the thing. still.
That's
For what,
impressive.
like, it's got to be 12 years now or something.
That's truly
I
impressive.
honestly didn't know they still had email.
I just hold on to it. They didn't take it away from me. It's that simple.
Well, they don't have. That's the studio
Probably
dog.
because they're procrastinating.
Yeah, they're like, oh my god, I
Well, they
just
just
don't
want
want
broke.
to
You
tell
know,
these
we
people.
just don't want to shut that down yet.
I just don't
we'll
want to tell
do it
these
tomorrow.
people.
This guy's
We'll do it
clearly
tomorrow.
a
We'll do it tomorrow.
We'll do it live. I'm beating that horse. Oh man, that horse is
I
just.
told you we're
Easy
we're
on the
gonna.
horse.
We got a glue factory down the road.
Easy on the
It's-
horse.
It's gonna happen. But I think with all things with procrastination too, though, it's like, why do it today? It's a lot of people's mentality, and I think we need to get out of that aspect.
Well,
Of instead of why tomorrow, like, just do it, get it done, don't worry about it. We already have enough stress in our life, so there's no point in putting things off that are simple, because those simple things add up. Let's say you have 20 projects, each of them take about 5 minutes. You know, you're already up. There's your day. Your whole day went to 5-minute projects.
I have a point to make on that note. You have 20 projects. My issue is when I have 20 projects, the reason that I procrastinate is I have no idea where to start with any of them. I have a hard time finishing projects sometimes, and I have a hard time starting projects sometimes. Which is kind of why I'm stressed out about the studying thing. Like if you put me in a room alone with something that I got to study or like do, if it's just like me by myself, sometimes I just get kind of it's not necessarily overwhelmed, but like it just seems like things don't
piece
stick.
of candy.
Ooh,
Yeah.
piece of candy.
Yeah, a piece of candy or
Man, you'd be really good on like a Saw movie or something
literally
like that.
anything else.
They'd be like, Dan, you're gonna have to do this, and be like, well, wait, but could like you maybe clarify that
So what
a
was
tiny
I
bit
supposed to
more?
do?
Like, what is the expectation?
Like, do I really need to murder that
I just
couple?
like wander backwards into the
Dan, just
thing
seriously,
and
just get it done. No, but like, can you just kind
Draw me
of?
a map.
Well, like, let's talk about the relative expectations. Also, what's my timeline here? Because I actually got a lot going on today. I'm just gonna kill you. Well, but like, are you gonna do it right now, or do I have time to maybe get in a few things that I was working on previously? Oh, just go.
Just leave.
I don't care. Just get out of here.
Get out.
I hate you.
It's already happened twice.
I hate you too much to
gave up
kill
and
you.
Didn't put me in the third movie because they were just like, I don't know.
Oh God, he's still on the first movie objectives. It's just awful.
The cutscenes, 40 extra hours.
And he keeps calling me to confirm
40
stuff.
extra. Yeah, it's very
So
bizarre.
when do I need to be there?
Seriously, you don't use
Speeding down
Google.
the highway 5 minutes before I'm supposed to be there.
You don't use Google Calendar? I would really like it if you use Google Calendar and you sent me an invite to the torture and the murder. Otherwise, like I just have
I
a
just
low.
don't have time for
I have
this.
a low probability of making it. It's
Yeah.
low.
I'll probably be late.
It's low. I'm not gonna
90%
lie.
chance.
It's low. That's awful. Well, you know what? I think we should probably end it there and quit procrastinating on our studying and get back to it.
It's been real.
Moral of the story: just procrastinate or don't.
Good.
But
yeah,
really, you shouldn't.
That was a good.
But like, just procrastinate or don't.
But really, don't.
Yeah,
But don't
but
do
seriously,
it.
don't.
Don't do
Maybe don't. Unless you're good at it. Unless like that's your thing and that's how you perform.
To do anything
I
that
don't
you were going to do, whether or not.
Do it or don't. This is just a
Just do it
podcast.
or
You
don't.
do you, bro.
it. You do you. Because we're doing a lot.
To be certain the efforts of the martyrs have applauded, I'ma share specs, burden to resurrect the artist. Usher in the Renaissance, a plea to Medici to commission each and